Today we're going to be taking a look at this 200 watt solar panel that I've got that's made by Rophie. Going to be doing a little bit of a review on it, getting into the build quality, the features, and see how efficient it is. So let's get into it. Okay, for starters, as I said, this solar panel is made by Rophie. We're going to pull this thing open, set it up, test it out, see what the efficiency is like. But first, I kind of just want to go over some of the build quality and the features. Now, what I like about the build quality is, like I mentioned already, it's very thin and very compact, which makes it nice for being able to find a spot to store it in the truck when I'm taking it out on a trip. I've owned other portable solar panels in the past, but sometimes they're more of like that bulky frame type concept. And this one, just being so light and skinny, makes it easy to kind of carry around and bring out on a trip. So point one for Rophie on that. The front has got this little pocket, and this pocket stores your power cable for the solar panel with some standard MC4 connectors. That is the connector that's typically used on solar panel systems, but it also has this little adapter kit that is stored in this little pocket. And this adapter kit connects with your standard MC4 connectors, and it's got all these various electrical outputs that you can use to plug into power stations, maybe your dual battery system. And so you've got this XT60, an Anderson plug, and all these different 12 volt outlets. Now, I'm going to be, for today's video, using this with a Blue Eddy EB3A 268 watt hour little power bank system, and that's going to utilize this little guy right here. And so just right out of the box, most likely, depending on what you're looking to power this with, you probably have something in this little adapter that is going to work for whatever power system you're using. So it's really great that they thought to include that. Now at the top, you've got these handles. Now these are pretty cool because they're kind of magnetic. And so this thing folds up nice and neat, and it's just kind of lightly held together by those magnets. And so it sticks together just fine, and it's very easy to open back up. You have 3 of these legs. So these legs are just kind of like button connecting legs that are kind of lightweight, a little bit flimsy. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but you've got essentially 3 legs that you can use to prop this thing up and point it towards the sun. Something that I'm not too big of a fan on is the exterior here. It's like this cotton fabric, denim looking material. And my problem with it is I'm going to be using this outdoors in some rugged areas. It doesn't need to look nice, but this exterior is just not going to last very well. Some kind of like rubber or plastic, I think probably would have been a better fit for the exterior of the solar panel, just as far as cosmetic wise and how well it's going to last. I can see this getting pretty tore up just in the kind of conditions that you would typically use something like this. So for me, I'm going to be camping with it. I'm going to be using it in sand, dirt, gravel, rock, terrain. It's probably going to get pretty scratched up, just being that it's kind of like cloth material. So just a note on that. All right, let's open this thing up and take a closer look at some of the build quality aspects of it. Okay, now that we got this thing all opened up, you can see that there are essentially 4 solar panels here, which make up a 200 watt solar panel. And so we'll check the efficiency in just a second here. We'll plug it into the power bank and see how efficient this thing is. But first, just a couple notes on the build quality. Now you've got these little tie down points right here on the corners. I think these things are going to be pretty crucial. Now, I mentioned earlier, one of the pros of the solar panel is how lightweight, how thin, how flexible, how compact it is. And that is great and all, but when it comes to being in kind of like the rugged outdoor environment with, you're probably gonna have some wind, some weather, that's a con. With how thin and lightweight it is, wind picks this thing up, no problem. I actually tested this out one other day. It was just too cloudy to check the efficiency too well, but the wind was going just a little bit, and this thing kept blowing over very easily. So something to be aware of on that. Now on the back side, you've got these 3 legs, and they are also extremely thin and flimsy, and I just don't know how well the legs themselves are going to last. And so just something to be aware of with that. Now, in my personal opinion, a very efficient, portable, compact solar panel, I will take over having it super rigid and rugged. Not that I'm worried about this thing not lasting. You know, this for me is something that I just want to be able to have for the days that we're not driving. I've got a dual battery system I'll be charging with this, and I've got a power bank I'll be charging with this, which we'll take a look at in a second. But this is for the days where I'm just chilling at camp, you know, and so to have a very thin portable solar panel is a game changer for me. I love how lightweight it is, and I will take that trade-off for my personal use case over having something super thick and rugged that is bulletproof. I'll make sure that I take good care of this thing so that it doesn't break or get broken, but I think that's something that you just have to take in consideration and take your use case and how you want to use something like this. So as you can see, like I said, very thin, flimsy, wind will pick this thing right up. But for me, it's going to work out pretty well. So let's test out the efficiency and see what we can get out of this thing. So I've got these little MC4 connectors here. We're going to plug the solar panel into that. And then I'm going to take this little guy right here, and we're going to plug it into the Blue Eddy power bank. And we'll give it a second here for it to start charging. Okay, so after moving things around and trying to get the best angle that I could to the sun, the best output rating that I've got so far was around 140 watts. It's kind of hovering around that 138 to 142 range. And so something that you can kind of see on the solar panel right now is when I was moving things around, dust was kicking up and getting on the solar panel, which, I mean, it's gonna be what happens if you're taking this out and you're using it on a camping trip like I will be. And so that's just what is gonna happen. And so I think this is probably around the output that you can expect from it. I would say between the 130 to 150 range if you got some good sunlight and you've got it pointed in a really good direction. Now, it could be a little bit better. These things are typically not going to output what they're rated for. So a 200 watt solar panel is never going to give you 200 watts. It just doesn't happen. And so all things considered, I think it's a pretty good output. It could be better. Now look, there are tons of great options of solar panels like this on the market. So I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the only option out there, but just being able to do a real world review, this thing is like 400 bucks on Amazon. And so that is pretty pricey, but if you're like me and you're looking for something compact and portable, I think it's a good option. Like, I like it a lot. And so this will definitely be coming with me on any camping trip where I feel like we're going to be hanging out at camp. I have a dual battery system, and so I can charge everything I need to with the engine, but sometimes I just want to not run the truck, and we're going to be at camp for a day or two and just be kind of kicking it. And so this is, I think, really important for somebody like me who's running everything off of electricity, like a refrigerator, camera equipment, all that kind of stuff. I need a lot of power, and it would be great if I don't need to run the truck. And so for me, this is a great solution. I'm super happy with it. I'd like to know what you guys think down in the comments. Stay tuned for a review on that Blue Eddy EB3A. That thing will be coming out really soon. And I'm really excited about it. I still have a lot that I want to test out with it, and I've got some ideas on what I can do with it. So stay tuned. I think that's going to be a fun video coming up in the future. So with that being said, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope to see you out there. We'll catch you in the next video.